The final Chaos Emerald. Back at last. This should put the world back to normal. Dark Gaia will go back to being sealed within the core, and my work will be done.
That's great, Chip.
Yup. Thank you, Sonic. It's all thanks to you. Yeah!
That Sonic has restored the last of the Chaos Emeralds. Things should settle down around here before long.
That's right! Satellite footage confirms that the last piece is moving back into place.
That's wonderful. I'll await your safe return then. You can give me a full report over a plate of luscious cucumber sandwiches.
I'll be happy to fill you in, Professor.
Do you feel that?
Looks like you're a bit too late, Sonic.
Eggman!
Thanks to my wondrous technology, Dark Gaia is whole and complete. I harnessed its energy to put together this little creation. Behold, the Ultra Hyper Prototype 1! Crush them! This gorge will be your tomb!
So sometimes when I play beat-em-ups, I find exploits in a boss's design, you know, design oversights that make a boss's pattern and by extension the boss a complete joke. And sometimes finding those exploits makes me feel smart, you know? I feel good that I thought about the design and reached a way to solve the puzzle that was unintended. Other times the exploits make me really upset, like the final boss in Final Fight 2. Because with the final boss in Final Fight 2, it's incredibly clear that no one actually thought about the design. I didn't have to use my brain to find an exploit or solve a puzzle, I just spammed the same attack over and over. And the boss wasn't meant to be that easy, you know, they were just incredibly lazy. They didn't bother to check and make sure that the boss actually worked. They just assumed it would be difficult. And then you have bosses like this one, the Egg Dragoon, where the entire boss feels like a design oversight. There's really only one way to tackle the boss. It pretty much railroads you. There's no thinking involved. And since this is really the only way I could think to fight the boss, this is probably how they wanted it to go down, which raises the question, why did they think this would be a suitable boss battle? It's hard to imagine anyone actually getting hit by this boss, barring some kind of major controller malfunction. Because it doesn't feel like I should be able to do this, you know? It doesn't feel like I should just be able to walk up, stun the boss, perform a full combo, and then repeat the pattern over and over without him ever unleashing a single attack, but that's what I'm doing. And it's not some kind of exploit like it normally would be. This is just how the boss is designed. The boss's default design feels like an exploit. It's fucking weird.
How do you like that, huh? How could I lose? This isn't over. I'll build a prototype too and...
What? It's Dark Gaia.
Yes, Dark Gaia! Crush this insolent little hedgehog! Kick him to the outer limits of space!
Sonic, what's wrong? Sonic, you've got to get up! Sonic!
Chip! Run, Chip!
Seven lights of the earth rekindled.
What? What's happening? Oh, wow! That's just incredible! The temple! Whoa!
Awaken and gather here to me!
So for this weird punch-out styled minigame, we have a right blow, a left blow, and a heavy blow. The heavy blow obviously takes longer. The right and left blows take the same amount of time. We can dodge left, right, or backward. I will admit that just like the real punch-out, it's fun to find openings in Dark Gaia's attack pattern. But the whole thing is incredibly surface level, so it's a good thing it lasts about a minute. Under a minute if you're really good at it. If there is a complaint I have, I wish they made it more obvious when exactly Dark Gaia was shielded and when it wasn't. Maybe there's something I'm missing, some sort of visual cue.
Roger that, buddy. Time for the big finale. Here we go!
So yeah, the Dark Gaia boss battle has its own tiny day stages and weird purple wisps that will try to attack us. I find boosting through them is the best way to avoid getting hit by them. These mini day stages, as you might assume, are incredibly short, and the main idea here is just not to die before you reach the boost pad at the end. If you do die before you reach the boost pad, then you'll have to restart the mini day stage, which will waste a significant amount of time. And although each mini day stage doesn't have its own timer for an S rank, you may have noticed that Dark Gaia as a whole has one big timer for its S rank. The Punch-Out style minigame, these small day stages, and the Supersonic section that we've yet to encounter all count toward the timer. So that's 3 different gameplay styles under one timer. A little confused how that worked, but that's okay. You can afford to goof up a whole bunch during these mini day stages as long as you don't actually lose and have to restart them. This is something I think will be incredibly apparent as you see me goof up a whole lot. The most important part of this 3-segment boss battle by far is the Supersonic segment, so don't freak out if you mess up or get hit a lot. But if you don't make the S rank time successfully, pausing and pressing restart level will bring you back to the beginning of the first segment, which would be the Punch-Out style segment. So that's still an option if you really want that S rank. And I mean I do, because we've been S ranking the whole game so far. I would have liked to do a lot better on these mini day stages, but it's not all that important. I don't have the benefit of being able to practice them separately like the actual day stages. And an S rank is actually the highest achievement you can get in this game. So considering I can still get an S rank even after goofing up all this much, I don't see what motivation I have to do better. You know, this is actually a situation where enforcing a mandatory S rank would make a lot more sense. Not just because it would make the design better, but because Dark Gaia is engulfing the world in darkness as we speak. So time is kind of the essence here.
What's happening? It was broad daylight a minute ago.
Dark Gaia has regained its true power. The beast is complete. It's just as the Gaia manuscripts foretold, and the world shall be plunged into the dark of night, the dark of destruction. Oh, that it should come to this. We're doomed. The planet is lost.
That won't happen. There's no way Sonic will let it end like this.
Let's do it! Collect up rings, and the boost gauge at the bottom left will fill up. When the gauge is full, press the circle button for the supersonic boost. Move the left analog stick and press the L1 button or the R1 button to dash.
I'm sorry, now Dark Gaia is engulfing the world in darkness as we speak. Anyway, it's easy to fall into a trap with this boss fight of attacking Dark Gaia as soon as you have enough rings to boost. That's not what you want to do. You want to get a good surplus of rings because every time you boost, you use 10 of them. So even though there's a big red blob of text underneath your boost meter that says attack now, don't listen to it. Make sure you have a good surplus of rings first. And after you're comfortable with the surplus of rings, mash the circle button until you attack one of Dark Gaia's eyes. It doesn't matter which one, as long as you're mashing the circle button, you'll go for the earliest possible opening. The ring surplus is not only important to assure that we can attack consistently, but because if we run out of rings, we have to restart the segment. You want to play smart here, not fast, regardless of what the music and the giant red text that says attack now is telling you. As for actually dodging Dark Gaia's attacks, most of it is easy enough. There's a big line that swipes across the screen before the attack actually commences. Some of his attacks are harder to dodge than others, but as long as you're constantly picking up rings, you'll be able to take the hits. And as near I can tell, there are infinite rings to pick up, so you can just do this until you're comfortable. You can even interrupt his attacks by attacking him, as I just demonstrated. After you remember that you want to have a good ring surplus before going on the offensive, the most difficult part of this boss simply becomes avoiding the boulders on the way to his eyeball. And even then, that's still really, really basic stuff. Took quite a few hits there. Good thing I picked up that ring surplus, right?
Press the X button at the right time to knock Dark Gaia's shots right back at him.
If you do hit these blasts back at Dark Gaia, it stuns him for a bit, which gives you a lot of time to pick up more rings, which again is what you should be doing. Alright, before I clam up and let you enjoy the rest of the boss battle, I'm just going to point out that Dark Gaia looks like a giant evil pea pod. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Pleasant morning, wouldn't you say, Doctor? You can simply begin your plans anew. Even if all of your efforts this last time were utterly wasted, even if it was a complete and utter humiliating loss, even the most pathetic loser in all the world will have this chance to...
Ah, the light reigns over darkness, and the world is returned to peace. It's simply a miracle. We've been saved by a miracle.
I told you, didn't I? There was no way Sonic would let something like that happen.
And right you were. Still, we cannot live without the night. We all must sleep. We all must rest. Darkness is a part of our world, just the same as light. It may be that the darkness has not been destroyed, but merely laid to rest. It grows strong over the eons, rises up, then is put to slumber by the light. Perhaps that is the true balance of dark and light Gaia. That balance may be the very will of the planet itself.
Save the speech for later. We've got to get things ready for Sonic's coming home party!
Sonic. Sonic, you must live.
Chip? Ow! Huh?
I'll never forget you. I'll be here by you, always. A part of the earth you tread.
Hey, Sonic!
So send me a letter, let me know how you're doing. You are my lifetime and true friend. Will never be forgotten. Having trust is all we may need. You are always with me in the life I lead. So far, far away from life I used to know. Worries are too far to go. I will stop and close my eyes. Remember, end of the rainbow, I can take you, I will catch it for you. Memories you can recall with me any time of day. You can reach out, you can ask me in your soul. I will answer when you call me, I will come no matter how. 'Cause we are very special friends. Just like a river that flows, just like stars in the dark night. Lead me in the storm, lead me in the dark. You are the light of my life. I will be there if you need me, and I know you'll do the same. I can see you, I can hear you in my heart. You will be here if I need you. I will never have to guess, 'cause we are very special friends. Memories you can recall with me any time of day. You can reach out, you can ask me in your soul.